Hello my dear friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Barbara, and today we're going to be looking at the secondary progression, progressing out of the Aquarius sun or rising into Pisces sun or rising. So this video is for you if you do have this placement. If you're a cross watcher, welcome as well. Secondary progressions, if you don't know what they are, I did make a video explaining what secondary progressions are and how they are calculated. So you can definitely double check that in the comments below. I will put the link there. So progressing out of the Aquarius sun or risings first, we have to look at what the sun and rising mean. So the rising is the first house, okay? So it deals with the self, the identity, who you are as a person. The sun is the ego. So a lot of the time, this basically means we're going to be transforming our identities, okay? When we're going through this progression, you're going to be coming out of the Aquarian-like qualities into Piscean-like qualities. Now for the Aquarius energy, what I will say to you guys is you guys are probably going to have a hard time making this transition or embracing this transition, because Aquarius is very much all about, this is who I am. I'm this person. These are my quirks. Because probably for you guys, it takes a while to embrace your quirks and your identity and being different. But then Aquarius does really create their identity around being different, okay? They don't want to be with the crowd. They want to be separate. A lot of the time, you guys are trendsetters. Both of these signs are highly psychic, so you guys are still going to basically be using those psychic gifts and abilities that you do have, whether it's channeling them creatively. The thing is, the Aquarian energy always feels like they're here for something bigger. There's some sort of bigger purpose. And then Pisces comes through, and with the Piscean energy, well, basically Pisces is telling you guys to go with the flow, okay? And this might be challenging for you guys, especially again, if you get really, really into that Aquarian energy. Any of the fixed signs, I even mentioned this for the Scorpio video, any of the fixed signs are going to struggle with this transition. They might not want to change because again, fixed sign energy gets used to things being a certain way. It takes you a while to get there, okay? Master whatever your sign is. But once you're there, you're like, okay, I've mastered it. I like it here. And then it's like, boom, time to change, because we are here to grow and evolve. So basically, Aquarius, sun or rising, you guys are probably very much, again, futuristic. You guys are all about the ideas, okay? So it could be ideas, anything to propel the collective forward, really. So it could be things with technology, science, innovation, anything even in the fashion industry. I find the fashion industry to be very Aquarian-like, even in terms of their appearance. They tend to be very Aquarian-like, okay? Very out of this world, ET energy, these types of things. You can still do these things, but now the Piscean energy is saying it's time to go with the flow, okay? So maybe not having a fixed schedule anymore, or maybe learning to embrace things as they come to you, or really breaking down that ego is really what's going to take place, because the Aquarius energy tends to build a whole identity around being different, okay? That's a huge thing, because it's ruled by Uranus, and Uranus deals with being different, being out of this world, being eccentric, these types of things. And now Pisces comes through and is like basically trying to soften you guys up a little bit. That's the Piscean energy. So you guys might notice that your interest might change during this transition. Whether it's the sun or the rising, they're going to transition at a different time because planets move differently. But really, this is what takes place. So you guys might notice your interests change from things like, again, anything to do with science, technology, innovation, propelling the collective forward. It's all about the higher ideas. It's the higher mind, where it's like, I'm here for something bigger. That's the energy with Aquarius, really, is what that is. And now Pisces is coming through to soften that up. You guys might be finding yourselves getting more lost, okay, in the imagination when you go through this transition. You guys might find yourselves having bursts of creativity, because the thing is, creativity is different in different ways, right? So you can have creativity in the innovative sense, okay, because the internet is very Aquarian-like. Piscean energy, when it comes through, you guys might be interested in things like art, okay? So now channeling your creativity in a different way. You might be interested in music now. You might be interested in romance, romanticizing things, even creating like films that are romantic, like these types of things, right? So your interests are going to shift. But again, just when you guys are going through that shift, you guys might just struggle with that a little bit, because again, the ego, when I talk about the ego, I'm not saying things like, oh, you have such a big ego. The ego is something that wants to hold on to things because it's comfortable and safe. So that's really what that is. So you guys get very comfortable being the way that you are, and then boom, the change comes through. And probably a lot of you guys who are tuning into this video are very attached to your sign, and you're probably like, I don't want to move out of my Aquarius energy. And it doesn't mean that you are. This is what I said in the secondary progressions video as well. You don't move out of the energy. You're still going to have that as kind of part of your core identity. You can just look at it as an additional energy on top of the Aquarian energy that you have, okay? So Aquarius is very much expansive. It's about connecting people, connecting groups of people. The Piscean energy, it's it's more water. So you're going to be asked to go with the flow more, okay? You're going to maybe be asked to tune into your emotions more, into the emotional side of things, into the psychic gifts and abilities. By this point, you guys might have even developed your psychic gifts and abilities, whereas like the Aquarius energy is kind of like they're psychic, but they don't realize they're psychic. They're just channeling things through. They're just doing it as just part of their existence. You'll notice they start trends. Aquarius is always ahead of their time, right? But a lot of the time, especially if you're in the earlier energy of Aquarius, you probably don't realize this. You're just doing things because they're your interests. Okay, you like to dress a certain way and then it becomes a fashion trend. Whereas with the Piscean energy, you're now expanding that, expanding the psychic gifts, expanding the psychic realms, all these sorts of things. But again, don't get overwhelmed when you go into the Piscean energy, because Pisces energy does tend to be very overwhelming for some people, okay, especially if you're not familiar with the energy, because it's very expansive in the sense where it's like, it's literally water, right? So for water, you always need a container. So you always have to look at the energy like this, where it's like, find a way to contain your energy, or find a way to bring through structure into your life, right? Or find a way to, again, express those creative gifts and abilities in a structured type of way, because Pisces tends to get lost. This is why Pisces also tends to deal with illusions and delusions. But I always say you got to be a little bit delusional in this life, okay, to get to where you want to get to. Pisces is also very good at manifesting, right? So you have to believe in a dream or a vision that you have, because it was given to you, first of all. But second of all, no one's really going to make these things happen for you. You have to make them happen for you. So that's what happens when you move into the Piscean energy. And also Pisces, like, again, because there's just so much happening, where it's like, again, it's water. You have to look at it as the ocean. It's so vast. There's so much. You're tapping into so much. Maybe you're tapping into other people's energies, these types of things. Very important to understand that you have to learn to lead yourself with the Piscean energy. Otherwise, there's going to be opportunists who want to hook into your creative energy and basically take advantage of that, okay? So just something to be aware of with the Piscean energy. And also, Pisces does tend to struggle with either substance abuse or escapism of some sort, because again, they don't know how to control and they don't know how to contain, rather, the energy that they have, okay? So when you guys go through this transition, there's probably going to be resistance in the beginning, but you guys are probably going to start noticing your interest changing around the time that this transition does happen for you. It's going to be different times for different people. Once again, you're probably going to be more interested in spirituality, things that are very vast, right? These concepts that are out of this world, in the sense where it's like, again, it's the crown chakra. So it's things that might not make sense to other people. That's really what Pisces deals with. And it's anything to do with illusion. So you guys might even be interested in makeup now, okay? Again, it's a transition where it's like, before maybe you were more technological, maybe you were more science-minded, these types of things. Now you're moving into Pisces, where it's like you might be more interested in feminine types of energies, where it's like makeup. Maybe you might be interested in, again, expressing your emotions through art in one way, shape, or form. So that's really what's going to happen when you guys go through the transition of Aquarius, Sun or Rising, into Pisces, Sun or Rising. I do hope that you guys did enjoy my quick little video on this progression. If you guys did, you guys can let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys like the video as well, share and subscribe, and I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day.